Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. I am still in Massachusetts, and I was all the fuck around Massachusetts this week. It was kind of unbelievable how around Massachusetts I was. I haven't done a trip like this in a long time. And, earlier this summer, I came back and I went to Martha's Vineyard for a wedding because apparently it is my plight in life to only go to weddings and go broke going to weddings. Then I came home this time, and last time when I was home, it wasn't even last. Yeah, so the beginning of the summer, I came for Martha's Vineyard. Then I came home and went to Foxborough for Bruce and New York for a wedding. Now I'm back, and I went to a wedding in Nantucket, and I went to P-Town with my dad and his girlfriend and their puppy, and I went to yesterday to Salem. So I have been all the F around, and I am just so unbelievably stoked about that because it is so uh like un it brings me so much joy to see my state in as an adult, and I don't usually get to do that. And being able to go to Salem with my brother yesterday and being able to do all of this stuff is just such a W. And I'm trying to ball on a budget as much as I can. So I'm not doing much balling and I am doing a lot of budgeting. But we will talk about all of this and more today live. And speaking of the more, we're going to talk entertainment stuff today because since I have not been doing the show live, since I've been home every day, I haven't spoken about WGA reaching an agreement. I haven't spoken about SAG approving the video game industry strike and what exactly that could look like. I haven't spoken about the Golden Globes. Today, they actually added 2 new categories that I wanted to get your thoughts on. And then we did speak about Russell Brand, but there were some updates on Russell Brand that I just did a spit take on and was whoa. And I want to talk about my trip a little bit. So all of that, plus whatever the fuck you guys want to talk about. I want to start by reminding everybody that the actors are still on strike. Everybody is like, yay, congratulations, the strike is over. And it's like, not only is the strike not over, but the writers aren't even back yet. So I'm glad that they have an agreement. They fucking deserve it. 146 days striking. The writers deserve to get what they need to survive and some. But SAG has not even gotten back to the table yet, which means that work will not be work. I believe that work will not be the same until a couple months into 2023. Because even if SAG approaches the table again in the next couple of weeks, then they have to come to an agreement. Then that agreement has to be signed. And then productions have to start picking back up. As we know, the industry shuts down for the second half of November and all of December, essentially. It is just so slow. Hollywood is dead in December. And we are at October. So it is a shit time, and it is going to be affecting people's wallets for the next several years because of what happened now, because of the show cancellations as well, and because of everything that we have seen happen. So yeah, it's a challenging time. That being said, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. We are a fan-funded show. The only way I'm able to be here with you guys is because of you guys. So thank you so much for all of your support over the years. It has meant everything to me. It has kept a roof over my head. It has kept food on my table, and it has kept me alive and not having to work for people who are extreme fucks. Although I still have to work for people who are fucks sometimes, but not as often as I once did. So please continue to send that support. In that support, feel free to get out your questions, comments, concerns, things that you want me to talk about, things that you feel like about the topics that I am talking about. We already have a Streamlab that has come through. Thank you for the first Streamlab of the day from ZB himself, Zachary Vale, who says, here's to seeing the SAG strike end next so we can see and hear about your next projects. Yeah, that will be really exciting for me because there's been a lot of stuff that I cannot talk about. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff I cannot talk about, and I cannot wait to be able to talk about it. As you guys know, I've turned down a lot of jobs during this time to try to abide by WGA and SAG rules. Even though they've been a little unclear, I've been doing my best, just trying to make the choices that I can. And because of that, I haven't been able to speak about certain projects. But fingers crossed for the future. All right, all right, all right. So let's go into a few different things. Like I said, Streamlabs in. What it is you guys want to talk about? Thank you to Shawnee Bear, who just said, welcome back home to Mass. Roxy, from your fellow Masshole from Fall River. Thank you for that. Our girl Brandy's from Fall River, and my dad's girlfriend's from Fall River. So I have a special place in my heart for that place, even though it is, the place has some problems, let's just say. So let's jump into it with a little bit about my trip back home. I've been working the whole time I've been back here because, as you guys know, I still run AfterBuzz's intern program and deal with their social and their editorial. So I've been working on that since I've been back. Additionally, been trying to up my social media game. I've been making a lot of stuff for my Patreon. I was doing these vlogs, and I'm still going to continue doing them, but I also want to do more just like clips on there, posting pictures on there, talking in my Discord all the time. Also been still doing World Girls while I've been back. I still have been filming Only Stupid Answers. DJ's been kind enough to not do movie and television related content right now. And so I have still been working when I can, writing a ton, and working on, I've got lines to learn for a non-union project that I'm working on. I just got a lot of shit going on still. But when I haven't been doing that, or in between those things, I have gone on to do some really cool things. So last week I went with my dad and his girlfriend and their puppy to P-Town. For those of you guys who do not know, P-Town is the gay capital of Massachusetts, and it's fucking awesome. There's drag shows everywhere, a really fun vibe, great shopping. I did not buy one thing because your girl's wallet is light. So I just explored. Oh, I did. I got a scone, and it was so good. I got a lemon poppy seed scone, and it was mwah. The stuff there is amazing. And yeah, my dad took us to eat at the Lobster Pot, which is this iconic place in P-Town. And I got, for the first time, I had never had Clams Casino, bacon on it. Oh, sick. So good. And I just can't recommend going to P-Town enough. It's on the very tip of the Cape. So, you know, the Cape is like this arm, the very, very tip of it. Beautiful views. And they go till Halloween if you are in the Massachusetts area. Apparently they do sick Halloween weekend stuff too. So it is unreal there. And then I went to Nantucket for a wedding, and unfortunately it rained the entire time I was there. I wanted to go Friday through Sunday, but the hotels are so expensive on Nantucket because this is still considered in season, which I thought everything after Labor Day was not in season. So I could only afford to go for one night, and I could barely afford that because holy shit, Nantucket is so expensive. Oh my God. But it was beautiful, but it did rain the entire time I was there. On the boat ride over, my girlfriend that I was coming with, I was staying with my girlfriend and her husband, who I set up, my best friend back here and her husband, who I love. They're just the greatest couple. I was staying with them, and they, on the ride over, she got so sick because the boat was rocking because it was so windy and rains. It was considered a tropical storm. So she was puking everywhere. And then on the boat ride back, multiple people were puking on the boat ride. It was wild, child. I haven't been on a boat like that was that rocky. I get extremely carsick. I don't get seasick. So that is good for me. But it was wild. Actual Nantucket was great. The wedding was amazing. They had to change everything around last minute, which is a big bummer, and everything was inside. But then there was one point where they had a tent, and it was raining, and people just didn't give a fuck, and we went outside and danced in the rain, and the band came out and was singing in the rain, and it was just fucking awesome and a great, great time, and really good to see all my friends from childhood. It is weird. I am the only single person like at the wedding. Actually, one of my friends said something kind of obnoxious to me. I was sitting at the table, and he came over, and there weren't enough seats left at the table. And, you know, there were assigned tables. And he's like, Rox, are you at the wrong table? And I wasn't at the wrong table, but people ask me dumb shit like that because I'm single. They think I'm at the wrong table. I was at the table with all my friends. They had just forgotten to add an extra seat to the table because of the rain things. So that was wild. And then yesterday, I went to Salem with my brother for the day. It's about an hour outside of Newton, so it's about an hour outside of Boston, a little bit closer, maybe like 50 minutes. And it was so cool. We did a haunted house. We did the Salem Witch Museum. Check out my TikTok and on YouTube here also. I put out this little video of it. We went to the oldest candy company in America. We had just a great time together. The witch trials are so wildly fucked up. Just so fucked up. And rehearing about them, because I haven't done that since I was a kid, it's just like devastating what we can do as a society when everybody just becomes fucking batshit, where we just deemed these women to be witches, and some of them were in their 70s and 80s, and then we fucking hung them to death because of mass hysteria about it. And like, just, if you don't know about the witch trials, educate yourself, because that shit is fucked. Okay, and like I said, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stripe. If you have any questions about my trip home, I am coming back in 2 days. Very sad about it because I hate leaving here. I'm also happy about it because I love LA. So sad and happy, bittersweet. I miss my grandparents. Jake Yakoveta in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stripe says, Stabworthy asked if you have any tattoos. I could have told him, but I feel like your shoulder tat is better in your own words. Also, congrats to Brandy and Hambone for getting engaged. Jake, are we allowed to talk about that? Brandy, you let us know if we're allowed to talk about that. Yeah, I have a shoulder tattoo that says better, not bitter. It's in my mom's handwriting. It's a quote that my dad used to always say. We took the writing from a letter that my mom wrote me. My sister and I both have the same one. I don't think I can show it to you right now because of what I'm in. Can you see? You can kind of see. Brandy says, yes, it's fine. Brandy messaging me about her engagement was such a fucking vibe. I like screamed. And honestly, Brandy's not giving me enough credit for setting them up. Brandy's like, we might not have met if it wasn't for you. And it's like, babe, you would not have met if it wasn't for me. How else the fuck were you meeting him? What you talking about, babe? I'm taking full credit. You guys met because the online community. And you are here because of Periscope. Come on. I need full credit. Guess I don't need it, but I want it. And also, I'm just so fucking happy for you. And it is just true testament to the fact that if you are a good person and you're putting good out into the world and you're full of love, then you're going to find somebody who matches that. And Brandy, you fucking deserve it. You really deserve it. Yeah, Brandy. Okay, so you know Ashley Daniels because Periscope, and that's what brought you to the Tomorrow Show with me, which is what Justin threw Schmodown, right? So come on, how you getting there? Really, you can say thank you to Ashley, but really me and Ash. Gallagher says, here's a tenor from someone who is working for an extreme fuck. I'm sorry. I've worked for so many extreme fucks and it sucks. I'm so sorry. Okay, Brandy, Justin through Jake, but Jake through me. Yeah, but Jake through you. You said it. Okay. So it's Jake, me, Ashley. That's like Jake by the degrees of separation. It was Brandy to Ashley, Ashley to Roxy, Roxy to Jake, Jake to Justin. So 5 degrees. And I'm one of them. Gonna get a shout out in that wedding speech. Jake says, I mean, technically I met Brandy here and Justin through Riley, so the credit is mine, damn it. Oh my God. 7 degrees of Roxy Stripe. That's what I'm saying, Mike. That's what I'm saying. All right. So enough about my trip back home for now, unless you guys have further questions, Streamlabs and super chat them in. Let's talk a little bit about Russell Brand, because then I'm going to get all into strikes and all different kinds of entertainment news. But I just have seen some of the most egregious things about Russell Brand this week in terms of the response from the right. I even hate saying like the right. It's like whatever, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Conservative people who are standing up for Russell Brand but want to see drag queens in jail. Let's talk about it. So Russell Brand was accused by 4 separate women of rape, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, and grooming. One of the women was 16 at the time, and the allegations were extensively supported by medical evidence and text messages. This is what Elon Musk wrote. I support Russell Brand. That man is not evil. This is what Tucker Carlson wrote. Criticize the drug companies, question the war in Ukraine, and you can be pretty sure this is going to happen. He's essentially saying that because Russell Brand has been speaking out, that he's being demonized. Andrew Tate said, welcome to the club, and tagged Russell Brand. Yes, Andrew Tate, a person you always want to be in a club with. Liz Wheeler says, if they successfully cancel Russell Brand, they'll come for you next. This is a breakdown of their playbook. I don't feel like if they cancel Russell Brand, they will come for me next. I'm just not getting the correlation because I have not ever sexually assaulted anybody. And if and cancellation doesn't really even fully exist. So Russell Brand said about himself, I'm being silenced. He's 11 million Twitter followers, 4 million Instagram followers, 6 million Facebook followers, 6 million YouTube subscribers, 1.5 million Rumble followers, and all of these people tweeting about him. It's just unbelievable the shit people are saying. Like, 4 women come out and say this, and everybody is like, I support you. And it's like, what could he do that would make him not supported by you? Ben Shapiro put out this video that was like, listen, is it gross? Maybe, but 16 in the UK is legal, so it's fine. Okay, so maybe in the UK it's not statutory. However, no means no over the pond. So that, just wild. Again, not the point of today's show, but I just was seeing all these throughout the week and was just like, I have to talk about this because it's just crazy to me. As I was at, and I know this isn't the same thing as the fucking Salem witch trials, but as I was there, I was just like, this is the kind of shit that today, like I wouldn't have understood people in the late 1600s, and I don't understand people today. What is your logic, bro? What is your logic? I support Russell Brand. He's just not evil. Word, Elon. Word. Just makes legitimately no fucking sense. Have you guys been paying attention to this Russell Brand stuff? Do you just want it to go away? I feel so fucking bad for these survivors. It's just when they have to see people like Ben Shapiro put out these videos like, it's fine, it's fine. It's like, actually go, just zip it. Okay, Streamlabs in. Let me know your thoughts. Let's talk about what's going on with the strikes. So, as you guys know, on Sunday night, an agreement was come to with the AMPTP and the WGA. We are still waiting on all the specifics, but it seems as if people involved at the higher level are excited about it, happy about it, and I couldn't be more excited for my friends in the WGA. This is a very big deal. I hope that they are getting the, we know that this must focus on room minimums, this must focus on AI, this must focus on residuals, they must be getting a much better deal, and that is fucking awesome. Hell yeah to that. Yeah, I think that we all just been waiting for this moment. We knew that they were talking for Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Wednesday. And I said those days backwards, but they were in these talks and we were getting close. And the fact that That's what ends up happening, is awesome. It only took 146 fucking days. This is something that Newsweek wrote as 3 key takeaways. They're saying that the first one is that writers will not return to work immediately. The last WGA strike in 2007 to 2008 saw a tentative agreement reached on day 96, but the walkout wasn't over until it rolled over onto its 100th day. So that took a few days. People are saying maybe a week. Secondly, while picketing has been suspended, WGA members have been encouraged to continue supporting ongoing SAG after strike, which I just spoke a little bit about. In a statement shared on X, formerly Twitter, SAG after said that it is willing to resume negotiations with the AMPTP. We know this. They were waiting in line to get to the table, and now they're getting to the table. Third takeaway is that whatever is agreed and ironed out between the WGA and AMPTP is not an immediate given. Once factors within the deal have been settled upon, members will be required to ratify them through a vote. So you just hope that the people fighting for you fight enough that they make it so that the members want to vote for that. The full statement shared with WGA members on Sunday is below on the site. So if you want to check that out, go to Newsweek. But those are a few of the takeaways. A lot of people are saying that the WGA has paved the way for SAG. While that is absolutely true, and so much credit to the WGA, we do not know that just because they have offered the WGA certain things, that the AMPTP will immediately offer those things to SAG. We also don't know that what SAG-AFTRA people are looking for is the exact same thing that the WGA has been looking for. In fact, we know that there are differences, and there are differences in how we need to handle AI. There's differences in how we need to handle residuals. And so we will see how quickly SAG is able to do this. But I think it's going to be a little more time consuming than people believe. People believe that we're about a week out from a SAG agreement, and that is simply not true. I think we're looking towards the end of October. And like I said, by that time, things will not pick up until the 2024 year. Also, during this time period, SAG-AFTRA members have approved a strike against the video game industry. So 98.32% of SAG-AFTRA members voted yes on this. Does not mean that they will go on strike. You guys remember that just because you vote to give approval that you can go on strike doesn't mean you will. The bargaining session is scheduled for this week. The companies that they are approved the strike against are Insomniac, Disney, WB, Epic Games, Activision, and EA. It's a hot strike fall, baby, because a hot strike summer turns into a hot strike fall. We only on this show talk about entertainment things, so we haven't talked about all of the other strikes. I mean, we've touched upon, but there's several other strikes that have taken place this summer and also are taking place this fall. But we focus here on the entertainment ones, video games being included. What do you guys think is going to happen here? What do you want to happen here? And what is it that you, I guess, hope, want, believe? Those are all different things. There's like what you hope happens, and then there's like realistically what you want to happen, and then there's what you actually think is going to happen here. So do you think that SAG-AFTRA is going to, after approving the video game strike, do you think that they're not going to come to do you think the bargaining sessions are going to not work? And do you think that there's going to end up being an additional strike here? How are you guys feeling about the SAG strike in general? Do you think that this will be resolved in the next couple of weeks? Do you think that this is going to go through the end of the year, somewhere in between? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, super chat in. Would love to hear from you. Shout out to Mike Joyce for that big support. Mike, you've not single-handedly, everybody's been amazing, but you have very much so helped the World Girls and me in the last few months. Cannot tell you how grateful I am for you. You said, here's hoping the AMPTP doesn't drag their feet with SAG and they get a deal done fairly quickly. It's like fairly quickly, still it's going to be a minute, I believe. But thank you for that. I hope so as well. Wouldn't it be nice? And by the way, shout out to everybody who's in here live watching the show, wherever you are. If you're, hopefully you're enjoying a nice lunch. If you're on the West Coast, if you're on the East Coast, you're nearing the end of the workday maybe. You're getting ready for some Tuesday night. What happens on Tuesday night? Taco Tuesday or Tipsy Tuesday or Tips Receiving Tuesday. That could be sexual or financial. Just a lot of options here. Hopefully that, yeah, gives a lot of different choices. Let's talk about something else that I wanted to talk about today, which is Golden Globes adding categories. Okay, so before we get into the specifics of the Golden Globes adding their categories, I just wanted to preface this with the fact that if you have listened to me for years and watched me on Screen Junkies and Collider and everywhere on Popcorn Talk and all over the place, if you've been watching me for years, you know that I think the categories for a lot of these award shows are very strange. I think that it's an antiquated system. I love award shows. I always have. I probably always will, even though sometimes they're fucked up. I think it's really weird to separate performance by gender. I think that's always something that was a little weird. But B, now it just doesn't work. It's just not the same. There's a lot of non-binary performers, and then are they nominated for Best Actor or Best Actress? Uh, Also, it's not like sports where you have two different basketball leagues because of your genetic makeup or whatever. It just doesn't make sense to me that actors are judged against people that are women are judged against women and men against men. I think that at some point that is bound to change because it doesn't make sense. Now, I'm not requesting fewer categories because then we have fewer winners, but they need to be relooked at, right? And broken up into subgenres, instead of best actress in a motion picture and best actor in a motion picture. If you need two categories, do best actress or best actor and actress in a comedy and best actor and actress in a drama. However you end up separating these, I just think that it is I think it's weird. I just think it's weird. But that is not what came up today. The Golden Globes did announce new categories today, two new categories. And I think that this is a grab to try and get more people to watch. And I think it will probably work because the two categories that were added are Best Blockbuster Movie and TV stand-up comedian. A lot of people are saying that this is going to be very good for somebody like John Mulaney, Trevor Noah, Chris Rock, and very good for a lot of the movies that I haven't been able to talk about this summer, but some of the big ones that have broken a ton of records. What do you guys think about these two new categories? Do you feel like these are things that you've been wanting, hoping for? TV stand-up comedian, I'm a little curious how they do it. Let's see what they say here. They said that another new category, best performance in stand-up comedy on television, aka best stand-up comedian on television, will recognize 6 nominees who gave traditional stand-up comedy performances of at least 30 minutes, other than roles in television series, limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television on a recognized media platform. Individual social media accounts do not qualify. Only programs first aired or made available for viewing on demand in the United States during the qualifying calendar year are eligible. So, first of all, who off the top of your head would get your vote? Second of all, do you like the parameters around this? Let's see what the parameters are for Blockbuster. It's actually called Best Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. They're going to include 8 nominees chosen from among the year's highest earning and or most viewed films that have gained extensive global audience support and produce exceptional creative content. More specifically, films will be eligible if they achieve a box office receipt total / gross of $150 million, of which $100 million must come out of the U.S. domestic box office and or obtain commensurate digital streaming viewership recognized by trusted industry sources. Meanwhile, films after November 22nd through the end of the year may qualify based on projected box office performance and or digital streaming views from trusted industry sources. What are your thoughts on this? And it's like, is it the one that makes the most money and gets the most views? Or is it like of the top 8 that have the most money and the most views, which one's the best? So what are your thoughts? Sips tea. Oh, it's so good. Nothing better than a tea. Streamlabs.com / Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. Give me your Golden Globe thoughts. If you were going to add one category to the Emmys, the Oscars, the Grammys, the Globes, any of your favorite award shows, what would that category be? I want to hear from you guys. Do you think it's weird that it's separated by gender? Do you think that makes sense? Do you think these two new categories are good? Do you think that will go over to the Oscars? Are they going to be adding things? Send in those thoughts. We are going to be getting out of here soon, so send in any of your last minute questions, comments, concerns. My dad is away for the day, so I am going to check on my grandma and hang out with her. And then I have a girls' dinner tonight. They all have babies, so we are on a very strict timeline, supporting the parents of the greater Boston area. I just mean my time can go fuck itself because people who have kids, you got to do everything around their kid's schedule, which is always wild child. And I'm sure if I ever have kids, I'll feel that way. But it's like, oh my God, we can't pick where I want to go or when I want to go. Okay, and I'm the one who doesn't have a car, and it's just like, it's difficile. All right. So send in any my brain, I was just like, where did I just go? Where did I come from? Where am I going? I'm going towards the Streamlabs to check. Shout out to ZB, to Jake Yacovetta, and to Mike Joyce for being my 3 Streamlabser of the day, and to Shawnee Bear and Galagos for being my 2 Super Chatters of the day. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to continue to do the show. It is a fan-funded show. The only way I'm able to be here is through you. So thank you for allowing that. When you do, I know times are tough for the people right now. I am one of you. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, we talked about, I'm looking at my list right now. P-Town, Nantucket, Salem, Russell Brand, SAG approving that video game industry strike, WGA reaching their agreement, Golden Globes adding their categories, and those are the things that I needed to get off my chest. Anything you guys need to get off of your chests? Looks like not. All right, on that note, thank you to all. Appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Maybe I'll be live again tomorrow. I know that we're doing a World Girls Patreon thing tomorrow, so I'll see you on that. Maybe I will be here also on World Girls tomorrow night. We're dropping our Comic-Con episode, which we're excited about. And on Friday, I'll be with you guys for Only Sweet Answers. And Real Reject stuff. Check it out too. Those are my things. Trying to think if I have anything else that I need to plug right now, but there's not much I'm actually still allowed to talk about. Stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and the lid. We don't want those buffoons. Don't trump with the Holocaust. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice, forever on the rainbow. We love you. We stand with the women of Iran. Some of the bravest women we've seen. Golden sparkles for the Zen one himself. We are thinking about you, Glenn Caesar. Hope you're doing okay wherever you are. And shout out to Brandy and Justin for their engagement. We're very excited for you. And yeah, we're just very excited for you. Happy for you, babe. Okay, later.